Welcome to the Fiscal Physical Podcast. Join us each week as we sit down with the founder of Alchemy Wealth Management and author of Your Fiscal Physical, Ryan Nelson. Tune in to gain valuable insights and practical tips as we simplify complex financial concepts into digestible lessons. From budgeting to retirement planning, this podcast is your go-to resource for mastering financial literacy.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode of the Fiscal Physical Podcast. My name is Aaron. I am here with the founder of Alchemy Wealth Management, Ryan Nelson. Ryan, what's new with you, man? What's going on?
Same old for me. What's going on with you? Anything exciting?
At the time of recording, not a lot. We're just we're keeping on at this point. So maybe when this podcast drops, it's always funny to think about because we do these and we you think about in the future as well too, as far as looking back on the topics and the thing you talked about, and like maybe you're like, oh man, I was an idiot when I did that, or so far I was kind of looking back on them and I'm like, I feel like everything that we've talked about, we're staying pretty current and relevant. So yeah. I'm pretty happy about where we're sitting at here. So
absolutely.
So far we've let's say the blind squirrel's gotten a few acorns, if you will, here.
Absolutely.
So, but today, speaking of nothing to do with acorns, we're going to talk about wire transfers. So I'd love for you to demystify what a wire transfer is, Ryan. I mean, the super sexy topic, I would say, here really grabs the attention. But one of those ones that I've mentioned it before. I'm like, oh yeah, wire transfer. Totally understand what that is. And then somebody asked me like, hey, what is it? And I'm like, okay, it doesn't actually involve a wire, I don't think. But anyway, I'd like to see what you kind of say here, Ryan, and kind of talk about like why it's important and what they are and everything that kind of goes into it, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. I wonder at some point in time it must have used a wire. I think these things are old. I think they started, I should look this up. I think they started like the first wire transfers used like telegraph wires. Yeah. Back in the like late 1800s. So yeah, I mean, there must have been a wire there at some point.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's where the name originated from or not, but either way, what a wire transfer is a method of electronically sending money from one bank to another. So even as we talk about this, I guess the definition has changed too, because at one point it couldn't have necessarily just been electronic.
Right.
It is, in today's day and age, it's a method of electronically sending money from one bank to another. Usually you're going to see it used for either large dollar amounts or somebody who needs to transfer money really fast. So that's kind of the shtick with wire transfers. It's going to be fast. And again, it can be done for large transfers. And again, it's going to be sent directly from one financial institution to another.
Okay.
So, where might you see these or who might use these? The most common I see is real estate transactions. So, if I'm wiring funds for a client, typically they're wanting me to wire funds to an escrow account. Mm-hmm. So they need to make a down payment for a house. We're wiring the down payment from their account directly into the escrow account. So real estate's going to have it a lot. Sometimes sending funds to friends or family internationally could be a great use case for a wire, or just moving large amounts of money. If the other type of common transfers, there's going to be wire transfers. The other a common type is ACH, automatic clearinghouse transfers. And if you were to ACH money to, a large sum of money to a bank, it's possible your bank, you've probably seen this, where they put a hold on your funds.
Right. Yep.
So you ACH $100,000 and then your bank puts a hold on it. And so you can't use the money for sometimes 10 days or something, right? Mm-hmm. Which you're like, man, I moved this money because I needed it, right?
Right.
And so typically with wires, you can sort of forego that process. The money will be available to you immediately, which is nice. So again, timing is the big thing here with wires. So the pros of a wire transfer are going to be they're fast and they're secure. Usually domestically here in the United States is going to be same day. So if you do it before, there's certain hours at which you have to do this, right? Like business hours, of course. And so if you do this early enough in the day, it'll be a same day transfer. Internationally, it could be as fast as 1 or 2 business days. And then the technical term is called there's no hold or float period. That's kind of what I was talking about before when you deposit a check, and it they take a period of time to wait for the funds to settle before they let you spend them. It eliminates that hold or float period, and it can be done online or in person. So they're pretty versatile there. The cons of wire transfers,
naturally, always got to have some cons.
Absolutely. Typically, there's a fee. So usually you can do an ACH transfer for free. So if you're like, hey, I need 20 grand, but I don't need it for like 3 or 4 more weeks. Oh yeah, just do an ACH transfer. It's going to come over free. It might take a few days for it to get there and then a few more days for it to settle. And your bank might hold it for a few days, but you're like, I got plenty of time. Yeah. It's free. But again, there's going to be a fee for these wire transfers. So most financial institutions, they're going to charge you somewhere between $15 and $50. So if you're thinking, hey, I'm making a $100,000 down payment to my house, you might say, oh, a $15 wire fee, I'm moving $100,000. You might say, no big deal.
Right.
But if you're moving $300 in to help cover your mortgage, you might say, I don't want to pay $300 or a $15 fee, $50 fee on $300, right?
So I guess you're just paying for more like the speed then at that point, right? I guess.
Yeah, I don't know exactly why the fee exists. I mean, probably partly because they can.
Sure. Right.
Not all to be transparent, not all financial institutions charge a wire fee. I mean, I'm assuming there's more processing required, so they're sort of compensating themselves for that processing.
Right.
But I know some financial institutions will do this for free, or if you have a certain level of relationship with them.
Okay.
So maybe some banks don't do it for free for everybody, but will do it for free for some clients depending on your relationship with that financial institution.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I think about like just something that I use quite a bit. I use Venmo quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I know that like when I'm taking money out of Venmo, a lot more rare than sending stuff. But if I'm taking money out of Venmo, there's like a couple of options. Like, hey, you can get it like same day for an additional fee, or you can like get it within like 2 to 3 business days for free. Yeah. And I have never done the same day one because honestly, shout out Venmo, it almost always is like next day anyway.
Oh, nice.
Like they're very quick about like doing something like that. So I'm wondering like it seems like it's almost just like, hey, you're kind of paying for like the convenience of getting it right then. But I don't know. I haven't done any research on it as far as like what.
Yeah. And I don't know if
interesting.
I don't know off the top of my head, but if we were to dig into Venmo, that might be exactly what it is. So one of those might be a wire transfer. The other one might be the ACH transfer. So
kind of matched up with we're making a big assumption here. So don't quote this and take this as fact or anything. Right. But I'd be curious. I'll look into that later.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
But another big con of wire transfers is they're irreversible. So you send $100,000 off. You look at your you look and you say, oh shoot, I did the wrong account number, or I accidentally transposed these 2 numbers. Like that money's gone. Yeah. Right. So what you'll see a lot is scams often try to get you to wire some funds to them. Once that wire goes through, it's gone. It's irreversible. Right. So that's a risk. So you're a much higher risk for fraud. People will try to hack emails, and request wire instructions, things like that. And then, I did stress that like the benefit of these things is timing, right?
Yeah.
But do realize there are cutoff times, there's bank processing windows, there's holidays where the wire funds won't go through. So it's not like you can just wire fund. You can't just say, at 8:00 at night, I need to wire funds to my buddy. Let me do it. Like there are certain requirements. You have to, it's still going to be the fastest way to get the money there, but it might not be same day in all those instances.
No, those are all good things to think about as far as pros versus cons. Weigh what kind of works best for you there, and that's a good breakdown for sure.
Yep. So some common mistakes I see.
Oh, love some common.
Well, I don't know that I've actually personally, luckily, seen any of these, but you hear about it.
Sure.
The rumor mill, so to speak. But sending it to the wrong account number or recipient. Again, you don't want to do that. Falling for phishing emails or wire fraud scheme. I heard somebody, they were buying a house. So somebody had hacked this person's email. The person was going through a financial or going through a real estate transaction. So they were buying a house. So the person like hacking them, I guess could like monitor their emails, basically sat patiently waiting for it to get to the point to wire transfers, and then like jumped in at that moment and sent different wiring instructions via email.
Oh, wow.
So like as a financial advisor, my clients probably maybe sometimes get frustrated, right? Every time they send an email to me saying, can you like send this money here? They get a physical phone call from me. confirming the instructions, right? And that's to make sure that like email is not a secure form of communication. So we're wanting to verify that, make sure, hey, this is you, this is the account, right?
Right.
And so it can be a little cumbersome sometimes, but it's for, again, sort of your own best interest, right? Yeah, there's some crazy stories out there. So just beware that, make sure you don't fall for any of these phishing emails or frauds.
It reminds me of the old Russian proverb, trust but verify.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Glad we came full circle on that one. Yeah.
Measure twice, measure twice, cut once.
Exactly.
So not double checking wire instructions is a big issue. And then another issue I see is when people use wires when they don't need to. Mm-hmm. So somebody might ask me, hey, can you wire me over, this $50,000? And we'll say, yeah, not a problem. When do you need the funds by? And they're like, oh, next month. It's like, oh, okay. Is there a particular reason why you're doing the wire transfer? And there might be more cost-effective ways that we could get you your funds, right?
Spoken like a true fiduciary, right?
Exactly, exactly. So some best practices: always verify wire instructions by phone, right? What I mentioned before. Avoid sending sensitive info over email. Again, it's not a secured form of communication. Confirm the bank's wire cutoff time. So if you're needing to do it same day, figure out what that bank's wire cutoff time is. Make sure you get this processed earlier in the morning before that cutoff. From a scam standpoint, always be cautious if someone's pressuring you to wire money quickly. We talked months ago about some financial scams. Some of the key red flags to look for is this pressure, this urgency. Yep, exactly. So that's going to apply here. If somebody's pressuring you to do something quickly and it involves wiring, I'd be very cautious. Again, remember, they're irreversible. Mm-hmm. And then again, I think ACH is typically going to be your go-to method. And wires are just going to be used in sort of these one-off use cases if you need to transfer very large sums of money or the timing is more sensitive.
Sure. No, that's a great breakdown. And I'm glad that we are able to cover kind of like the different options as far as that goes too. Like, cool. Like maybe it might be in your best, because in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, let's do a wire transfer. But if I could save, $40, $50 on something like that, like, right. Yeah, absolutely. If I don't need the money right away, like, yeah, I'm cool with waiting and maybe do it for free when it comes to that. So, awesome, Ryan. That's good stuff. Anything else on the old wire transfers here?
No, that about covers it.
Yeah, and I think that you really called out the scam piece of it. You see, like, once again, I don't actually know if I have anybody who's been affected by this, but I do think about like when I bought my second house, after I sold my first house, bought my second house. I went to the bank and they were like, cool. Well, what account they were going to do a wire transfer for, like the closing costs or the escrow account, or putting it in there.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I wrote down the thing, and we had to fill out all this paperwork, and I wrote it down. And the guy's like reading it back to me, and like for some reason he kept transposing like a 3 and an 8, like the
really?
person who was there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, read, and so he read it back to me. I was like, no, that's not right. Like,
yeah.
So we went back and forth like 3 times on this, and I was like, hey man, like look at like 3-8, not 8-3. And like he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but like it is a good thing to make sure you're doing it right. Like at that point, because you're sending over $60,000 to these.
Absolutely.
You're like, I'm guessing that would probably go to a different account,
right?
Like, and then that's poof, gone, and it's gone.
Yep, exactly.
But awesome, Ryan. Well, I appreciate you breaking that down for me. I know I feel a bit more financially literate when it comes to wire transfers, and hope you all do out there as well. And everybody, hang tight with us. We'll be right back with some personal fun stuff.
And now to put the personal in personal finance.
Welcome back, everybody, to this side of the Fiscal Physical podcast. We are at the personal side here. Ryan, we haven't done trivia in a while,
haven't.
I'm excited. I got a few for you here. I think I have 3 questions.
All right.
Overall. So we'll see if listeners are out there. We'll take a pause here, and how many of you guys think that Ryan's going to get right here? I've kind of undersold you on these before. If I remember, I was like, oh, I don't think he'll get any of these, and then like you're like, yeah, I know that, and I was like, cool. So, all right, we'll start with some U.S. state trivia. So there's 2 states in the United States that have more cows than human for their population. There's 2 states that have more cows than people, is the best way to put it. Can you name, there's 2 of them, can you name one of those states?
I'm going to say Wyoming.
That is one of those states. Think you can get the second one?
Montana.
That is exactly right, dude.
Nice.
Excellent job.
Heck yeah.
Excellent job. Nice. That's funny. The only reason this triggered me is we went to this like meat cooler sale at this place here. It's called Sierra Meats. They do they call it a cooler sale, but you just get discounted. They just do all these awesome prices for stuff. And one of the places is their cows are raised in Wyoming, and like one of their big thing is like they preach like more cows than people, so we treat our cows better. Like is like what their like slogan is for it. So
funny.
I saw that, I was like, is that true? And I like Googled it. I was like, holy smokes, look at that. Like,
happy cows come from Wyoming.
Yeah, apparently so, or just a lot of cows.
Yeah.
So, all right, 1 for 1. So, those
all right, hey, good
well done.
So
yeah. Okay, this one we'll see. What percentage of U.S. money exists in cash? So, what percentage of U.S. currency or money, whatever you want to say, exists in cash?
Yeah, that's really.
So I'll give you it's a percentage, and I'll give you a range here. I'll give within 3 or 4%. Yeah, but I'm curious.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
God, I think it's pretty low. I think it's shockingly low. I want to say it's close to like 10-ish%, but that sounds ridiculous to me. I'll go with 12%.
Oh, dude, you were spot on originally. 8 to 10%.
Okay.
Is what it's hard to get an exact amount on that, but yeah, 8 to 10%, and it's the same for the world too. It's like right in that kind of that area. A lot of them, as they put it, are just like figures in a sheet,
right?
If you will. But
it's crazy.
Yeah. So that blew my mind. I was like, whoa, because like you think about cash, and then I'm like, I don't really carry cash very often.
Right.
Like it's pretty rare that I do. So
I don't hold 8 to 10% of my net worth in cash.
No, probably. I don't even know if 8 to 10% of my life I carry cash at this point too. So that was fun there. But all right, next one. Where does the United States rank in the world in terms of population?
Oh.
As far as, so where does the U.S. rank in the world in terms of population? So the number of people, I would say.
So rank country-wise?
Rank country-wise.
Well, it's definitely not 1 or 2.
And even if you want to give like 1 or 2, it's kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever you want to do as far as these go. Like how do you? Because I'm going to ask a follow-up question too. So start thinking about other countries too.
So well, yeah. It's going to be China and India are 1 and 2. I think India took it over, so I'm going to say India 1, China 2. I think US is 3. So yeah, I would go India 1, China 2, US 3.
Dude, you nailed it. That's exactly
Perfect.
what it is. Now here's the fun. Do you know 4 or 5 on that list?
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Could it be like, let me think about it.
Sure.
Brazil, it could be 4.
Shout out Brazil. My wife's from Brazil. Huge.
I'm going to go with Brazil 4.
No, Brazil's not on there.
Okay.
Sadly. But one of the other ones, Indonesia. Number 4.
Wow.
And then this one, I would probably could have given me 100 guesses on this one.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have gotten it. Pakistan is number 5.
Yep.
So, but you nailed the podium 1, 2, and 3.
I love it.
It's so funny because like you said, China and India. I was like, oh, sorry, dude. And they're like, actually, I think India took it over. So. You nailed that without a doubt.
I love it.
Dude, once again, really, maybe I just undersell your intelligence for these things. Yeah, so I don't know. I have to take a deep look in look in the mirror at myself here. But out there, keep in mind, Ryan, trivia buff, if you will.
I'm terrible at trivia. I'm terrible.
I mean, if you just strictly listen to this podcast, I would say
I'm decent at guessing random questions.
Yeah,
but
it's a good. You could puzzle things out pretty well. So. Awesome, man. Well, that was fun. If you guys have any trivia questions out there or want us to cover any financial topics, send us a text, email us, podcast@alchemywealth.com. We'd love to break them down for you, have a little fun with it. And Ryan, as we wrap up, anything to leave the listeners with?
As always, stay the course.
Thank you for joining us for the Fiscal Physical Podcast. Until next time, happy listening, and as always, stay the course. If you have a question or topic suggestions, please email us at podcast@alchemywealth.com. If you enjoyed today's discussion, subscribe to the podcast to ensure you never miss an episode, and consider leaving us a rating and review on your favorite platform. This helps other listeners like you find the show. For more resources, you can visit Alchemy Wealth Management's website at www.alchemywealth.com or find your Fiscal Physical, the book, on Amazon. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention that personal finance is just that, personal. Please don't take anything we say as advice. The preceding content is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It's not an offer or a solicitation, nor should it be construed or relied upon for tax, legal, or investment advice. It doesn't consider your personal financial situation or objectives and may not be suitable for you.